Hello, this is the Grenade of Cheese, and welcome back! In the last episode, ow, my butt! This episode, we're going to go through probably one of the most annoying dungeons on your first time around, but I'm going to make it look like a complete and total joke. Sorry about that quick cut. Sometimes I just randomly stop recording. There we go! So yeah, here you'll get good experience. If you want to risk it running into a monster house, you could just avoid grinding and coming here. You'll probably go up at the lower levels. You'll probably go up to 3 or 4 levels by the end of the dungeon. And you'll have Paris for the next 2 dungeons, so you don't have to get it right away. But you do want Discharge after if you're by the end of the next 2 dungeons you don't have Discharge, go to Marowak's Dojo, grind for it. You are going to lose access to your partner Pokemon real soon. You'll just have your main partner, in my case, Mesh. You don't have to do that, but AoEs are really good in this game, especially for monster houses. The reason I didn't grind before Northern Desert is because I think that place has a really low monster house save percentage, if any. I don't recall ever getting one there, even though that's a place where I do most of my missions. Let's remove Spore in case, so I will have it for in case we need a monster house. So yeah, and my dad's house. Great. Hey Dad. No, I'm doing my LP. I'm recording. Okay, I prefer to let my partner deal with most of the damage. He has better dealable damage, whereas my main character has an AoE and very good extra effect. Technically, this diva that my partner has is very good for enemies. It pretty much works like an unblockable paralysis effect that always will block your enemy's moves for like 4 to 5 turns. It's really good for boss fights. Unless the boss has Intimidator, in which case, why game? Why? Quick bake! Yeah, most of the enemies here aren't too hard. In the first part, anyways. You might be able to deal with the monsters in the first part. In the second part, if you run into a monster house, you are dead. Unless you have orbs, and in which case, it's really a jerk move in the game. Okay, for the most part, this game is really good at hinting stuff with NPC dialogue. Why can't they hint at the monster houses? That would be like really, really important information. Just not everyone dies in this place their first time through the game because they are not expecting to run into a monster house. And it's just such a jerk move. And this is really one of the hardest places to go through on your first time through the game, as you wouldn't have had made the preparations. And you might have some AoE orbs in storage, but that won't help you much if you get to the second part of the dungeon and really don't want to go back and just want to finish the dungeon. Sweet! Level it up! He can learn... Yeah, I think I'll get rid of poison powder for that. Giga Drain could be pretty good. one thing you're gonna start noticing, I really fail to see why people constantly rag on this game's lack of strategy and gameplay. Honestly, I think the strategy in Mystery Dungeon is far more prevalent than it is in the normal Pokemon games, where it's mostly pure, where outside the metagame, most people will use pure DPS, because why would you ever feel the need to do otherwise? And whereas here you have deep, due to the way the game works, AoEs are great. Debuffs are pretty good, especially for boss fights. Let's see, there's tanking, which is really nice for areas where you may have a Pokemon. And it actually does work. There's tanking here, which is really nice. To me, in any way I look at it, the Mystery Dungeon simply has a more strategic approach to gameplay than the normal series. So I fail to see why people always harp on its gameplay. And okay, you're not gonna notice it your first run through the game, and I suppose I have played through this game quite a bit in my childhood, but still. For example, Protect's actually worth using. Same with agility. I would never use agility in the normal series. Any Pokemon that would need to use it would already not have ways to deal with it otherwise. I see Pokemon who can wear it, or they have good speed. Even then, outside of the first gen, it's like, why bother? You can just focus on a Pokemon with higher defenses. So why would you ever even worry about speed? And in the other one, okay, it's really good because it also counterattacks, that much I get. I don't know, otherwise, it just doesn't seem worth bothering. Maybe it's just me. Okay, but same with debuffs, really. Okay, you could use sleep and it could be helpful if he's a very specialized setup, but you're not going to use that kind of stuff unless you're looking at metagame stuff, because it'd be too much of it out of the way to actually bother to figure out. And you could get just as good results by using pure DPS. Here, although DPS is still important, it's not like something that's good to the point where you never need to use anything else. So, yeah, I don't see why this... Now let me see. And agility is fantastic in this game, too. The only reason I'm not using it is because I found a TM for Protect, which might be slightly better for the harder bosses in the game. Because it's very great for tanking. Many people would say it's chump blocking, but it's only a few turns and it has a very low rate to get up. So I feel no problem using that to do the thing. Now, we're not going to run into bosses like that for a while. Although, well, no, I suppose maybe in the next few bosses they start getting harder. I forget when. No, the reason I'm kind of going around trying to search out all the floors here, it's pretty much so I'll run into a monster house. Normally, don't do what I'm doing. Find the door, especially if you don't have the preparations. Even then, I'd say, no, you don't want to get out of your way to run into it. Because, really, even with this app, it could still accidentally kill you and make you waste a lot of time. Which is really frustrating. Although it is very great for experience, you'll see what I mean when we get there, but monster houses will get, if you have ways of dealing with enemies, your experience will go through the roof. It can be obscene, actually. And of course, you tend to run in, gets a lot of gummies on the floors where you run into a monster house, which is very nice for stat boosting. It's even good in the time and darkness. It's still, you still get pretty good IQ skills for it. That's another thing I love about Mystery Dungeon. Like in the normal series, it's like the tiers are just easily set in stone. Mystery Dungeon, due to how IQ works, it's not such an easy thing to come up with. Like skills you learn for IQs for different Pokemon could make using a certain Pokemon I'd never consider using in the normal series an actual possibility. Paris, for example, it has a pretty good IQ branch. So, yeah, I would never use it in the normal series. It'd be too much grinding and not enough results. But, okay, so we're on floor 5. I don't know why I'm using my Reviver Orbs. Oh yeah, I'm trying to find monster houses, of course. They're just like me to forget. I don't think there's one on this floor, so I'm just gonna go to the next one. Maybe I'll look a bit. Maybe it's in that room with the tiles. I'm burned, oh well. Although it looks like it's bad, it's really not that critical to remove burn. I mean, it's not even like poison where you lose the ability to heal. It's not that good. So, but I never used Shuriken for that stats effect anyways. Toxic game would... Nah, the only case that I'd use Toxic in this game would take way too much stalling. It'd be great in boss fights, but it'd be too much stalling, really. Okay, take him out! Or just imprison him. Put the runt in chains! Sorry, that game exists. I hate to break it to you, but it does. And there's some ninjas, which are pretty easy. Thundershock. The special episodes sadly do remove a lot of strategy, although the next one actually has a fairly strategic boss fight. If you don't use the strategy against it, I don't like it because it wouldn't really win out if you're supposed to do it. But if you do use it, it's still a hard boss, but this is for the next special episode though. The boss we're not gonna really run into any hard bosses anytime soon in the main game. But yeah, next boss, it's the next special episode boss is on. Special episodes like the things with Beated Wish. Fortunately, I don't. This one's a bit on the short side. It'll probably only be 2 to 4 episodes. And here's the Monster House. Now, I'm gonna admit, you are all going to rage. Anyone who's lost here on their first time around is going to rage. Go for your orb first. That way I can get Paris into the room. And now, Discharge. Alright, enable spore, of course, Therp. Now, yeah, look at that experience. This is really, yeah, this would mean, for most people, this would mean death. And this place here, not happening. And look at the experience, I mean, that's pretty good. You don't start really being able to get that kind of experience until much later in the game, but consistently. So yeah, score, and now we pretty much pick off the and we got it from like 18 to a far more manageable 5 Pokemon, which is 5 that are asleep, that may I add. This is why Monster House is amazing. This is why you want to have AoEs in this game, because these are going to start showing off fairly consistently. The next area, they're actually not too bad if you run into them. They're not as difficult enemies. I remember even being able to handle one of those on my first time, although that was also because I actually knew about it and at that point. I, like many other people, came here and died my first time through it. Crap, Paris. Okay, good. Come on. Giga Drain. Yes! Woohoo! And he's pretty much safe. Now let's get our prize. Gummies! Yeah. Holy cow. Level 34. Really? Once you get this range of levels, I'd say it doesn't really matter, even for your partners. So yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna use. Nah, I'm not. Thunder Shock! Actually, that's pretty good damage. And he heals himself. Hooray! Derp, he might get up. I've been waiting to do this episode though. Holy cow, I was so excited this one because of how easy I make it look. And really, this is the thing about Monster House is, okay, they're a pain when you come here the first time. And subsequent runs, you can deal with them. The ideal AoE orb to deal with them is this like the Sprawl Orb or something like that, which pretty much warps all the enemies to different rooms. That's really nice because that way you don't even have to worry about dealing with the enemies. Now those Spurn Orbs, right. I don't know why I said Sprawl. Maybe I was thinking of the Troll Orbs, which are good for stealing from Kellyanne. Which I will be doing because I don't like bringing all that much money to dungeons. I consider it very risky. And I know it's really not a problem for me. Okay, so this is it with the dungeon. Now we're at the Underground Lake. I thought a time gear. I did saw a time gear. Wait, who are you? What do you want, you fiend? Wait, wrong character! And now for the worst legendary boss in the game. For the most part, they make legendary Pokemon bosses actually feel like you're fighting against a legendary boss. This one, you're only gonna have problems if you're using real. Otherwise, it is near impossible to lose. It's really easy. And Prison even makes it easier. So yeah. But why did Miss? But we're not trying to take the time gear. But will we be able to get Miss to convince Miss for it? Find out next time on Let's Play Pokemon Stadium 2. This is Granny Cheese. See ya.